Hello and welcome. Thank you for watching this video. What we're going to show you here is a little bit of animation in Procreate Dreams. This is an animation of a character called Mooncake, and he is from a series called Final Space, which ran for 3 seasons before unfortunately it was cancelled, and will soon have a graphic novel which will hopefully tell us a bit more about what happens to these characters. So in this little 2-second clip, which is running on screen at the moment, we see Mooncake just zooming around the planet before becoming a bit unhappy and then exploding. So what we're going to do is just break down how we got there. So let's stop. I'm going to come to the first frame. Switch to the drawing view. Okay, so what we're seeing here is a background image of a planet. We've just drawn some swirls and some stars in the background, made that blurry just so we can see that there's some distance between us and the character. And then we can just see a very tiny green dot, and as we progress we can see that green dot is jumping across the screen. So what we can do here is we can create some distance between each dot, and what that does is it creates a sense of speed and distance. So because he's far away at the moment, we don't need to put a lot of detail into him, but we are starting to see his ears and antennas coming in, and then as he gets a little bit closer we can start to see his face creeping in. He's obviously happy to see us at this point, and then as we get a bit closer we can start to see some detail. So we start to see the reflection, we start to see some of the shadowing on the face, and his feet creep out as he comes to a halt. Let's jump back one before we have a bit of a blink. So he's still happy to see us here. I say the character's not in a lot of detail here at the moment. Predominantly we can use this as a storyboard, or we can use it to understand the character's movements before we start to draw the character in a bit more detail or more accurate to how he appears in the show. But this is very rough and ready, so we can get used to using Procreate and the tools, and as I understand just how the character moves. So he's obviously not very happy, and as we start to move forward it's getting a bit angrier, and then starts to build up a charge. So what we're doing with these ones is we're just adding a lightning effect between the frames here, and a little bit of a glow effect. And what will happen here is as we kind of change the lightning between each frame, the eye kind of creates a bit of an optical illusion which will create the effect. As we're moving forward, we're starting to see that his antennas are starting to glow. We're starting to see that build up of energy inside him, the yellow glow in his stomach and face, and he's starting to get bigger. His feet are moving in as he gets ready to kind of let out all of that energy. And then we can do a couple of frames where we kind of lose that detail again. So as we're doing very fast movements, we don't need to have that detail in, as he kind of does that explosion. We start to see the white energy filling the screen. Well, then we kept it there for a second. Again, very fast movements, as this is only 2 seconds long. And then we see the energy dissipate. And thankfully, Mooncake's still there, and glowing for a couple of frames. And then we're just left a couple of frames at the end here. I can help just for editing, so when we export this and splice it together with other clips, you've got a point to kind of stop. Let's press play again. So if you keep an eye out, you better see some of those frames as we kind of have that pass through the character. So the ones around here with the explosion, kind of see the detail gets lost. But again, if you're only watching this very quickly, you wouldn't see all that. Now 2 seconds doesn't seem like a very long time, but doing the animation for this can take a while. Obviously with the more detail in the character, that can take longer. This roughly took 2 to 3 hours to do. Again, just playing around with the tools and understanding how to use them. And again, this is all just for a bit of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Please do like and subscribe. This is a growing channel and it really does help support, and we love hearing from you, so please do leave a comment below. But for now, thank you.